Habitats and Heritage Hyndburn's Woodland is a project focusing on 8 woodlands in the borough of Hyndburn, and the aim of the project is to improve these woodland sites, so through improving access so that public can use the sites, improving safety and also benefits for wildlife. So Prospects has been in these woodlands for the last 3 years, working with volunteers, carrying out all sorts of practical environmental conservation activities. And the work which we do, the practical work, aims to improve the woodland sites. So an example of this is increasing the amount of dead wood on the sites. And this is really important in terms of encouraging different habitats to build up. It's a really interesting borough is Hyndburn because it's classed as being semi-urban, but there is actually a lot of green spaces, including the woodlands. There's a nice little phrase which I read recently, which is a wood which pays, stays. And the way that we can make it pay the Lancashire County Council is for people to actually be in there, using it for leisure, using it for recreation. The majority of the woodland sites are reclaimed industrial sites. So for example, Winnie Hill used to have the brickmaking factory on there, creating the Nora bricks. The other part of the site was a landfill site. So it's good that we can sort of maintain the link to the past, but also for the future. Because on a grander scale, in terms of what's happening nationally, there's a massive push to create more woodlands. But within that, what we'll need to do is have people to look after the woodlands in the future. So with that in mind, the project has been upskilling and training volunteers.
I retired in 2019 from teaching. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to do things in the environment. Prospecting, in particular the Woodland project, has enabled me to do that. And it's given me an opportunity, especially in the troubled times we've had, to go out and enjoy myself and learn. Originally, I was only supposed to be doing it once a week. I'm now doing it 3, 4, and in some cases I've been doing it 5 times a week. I've always enjoyed the outdoors, but doing all of this woodland work, it's just given me a new interest in the environment.
We've facilitated training, so for example, we've done some scything training, which is for meadow management. We've also got a dry stone waller in to teach people dry stone walling, those traditional crafts. Part of my role was to train people in practical environmental conservation, so I've been running some coppicing courses, which is a form of traditional woodland management. And we've also engaged people to deliver foraging walks in the local woodlands.
I never take the first plant I see. I make sure there's a big patch of it, so that you're not totally decimating that population. At this time of year, you can eat the leaves as well, and these are really lovely in a springtime salad.
Also led quite a few green woodworking skills, because another element and aspect of the woodlands is using the woods for a purpose.
Today I've learned how to do a thumb push, how to whittle properly, and how to curve stuff as well. I've even made a little mushroom.
I am a big believer in people will only care about what's relevant to them. They're not going to care about the environment if they're not connected with it, and the only way you can get connected with it is to get out in it. And doing things like the bushcraft with the wood and things like that, it's something that children would have never experienced. The whittling projects and things like that are a great way to connect children to nature and why it's so important that we look after it.
It's important to learn about environments, and we can pass it on down the generations, and we can protect our planet.
Really important for us to have something that helps kind of develop a love of nature, of getting outdoors, and something that isn't just focused on being inside on a screen as well. Anything that can encourage us to get out and about and enjoy and learn while we're being active is really, really positive.
What we're trying to do is maintain the good woodland we've got, but improve it where it needs improving. We've done things like tree planting edges, maintaining them. We look at opening the pathways so we've got easy access for all. So we've done things like scything.
The pressure's all going into my body, and I can work much more firmly so that I can make, you can see the blade flexing even as I go.
In terms of why scything over using power tools, so you're using your body rather than fossil fuels, there's less noise. It's also keeping skills such as tool maintenance and care.
Tighten it up, then give it a quick sort of double check, and then you're good to go.
So we've come over to Millshore Park to do some proper scything on the wildflower meadow that they have over here. So we're getting a bit of practicing cutting the long grass, trying to improve our technique further still under Steve's instructions. I think it's been great. I've really enjoyed it, and I've learnt a lot. I think I'm going to have some aching muscles tomorrow morning, but I think it's something we're going to be able to put into practice quite soon over on the sites we work on.
Some of the woodland sites have got ponds, so we got some money from Natural England to improve those ponds, and that was like a really interesting way of getting people involved and working with a habitat which we wouldn't necessarily normally engage with. An interesting one where people think that woodlands are just trees. This is really not the case. So woodlands have got a real variety of habitat within them. So what we're trying to do is create wildflower meadows, we're trying to create ponds and maintain ponds. We also want different levels of the types and ages of trees as well. And this all fits into creating a mosaic. We've had over 1,000 volunteer hours. We've had in excess of 120 new volunteers and participants engaged in the project. We've planted around 300 trees in the existing woodlands. As part of the legacy of the project, creating the website, that will continue into the future. There's space there for people to put in their art, poetry, videos, photographs, that kind of things.
Every day for me is a school day. I always want to learn something new. Everybody's got some different skills to offer to the pot. I've received quite a lot of training from Prospects and in particular woodland projects. And what I'm able to do now is to transfer those skills that I've picked up onto other projects, onto other groups, and to extend it outwards, but all within Hyndburn.
Really, that's what we want as an organisation, creating a different heritage in terms of the woodlands. So where once it was industry, we want people in there using it for leisure, bushcraft activity. We want people foraging in there, sort of like re-engaging in nature. In terms of the heritage of the sites, because they were reclaimed sites which Lancashire County Council have taken on over the last 4 decades, it's really creating something good from something which was an industrial legacy, and this is safeguarding them for the future, sort of protecting them from encroachment from housing, from industry.
There'll be lots of other people who are the same, who aren't aware there's green spaces there. So yeah, doing things like this and getting people aware of what's available and how to use it, and then, you know, teaching them about the flowers and, you know, foraging and things like that, it's just absolutely invaluable.